Next question from Vishwajit Mahapatra. This is about promotion of FPOs. There are several suggestions from panelists that FPOs can be overlapping watershed area and then they can work together either in enterprise and processing. Variety of functions can be integrated into FPOs, including livelihood concerns. And are there any such experiences? That seems to be the question here. How can round the year agriculture FPO functioning be achieved? That seems to be the question. Can I request Surya and maybe Viju, who worked with FPOs for a long period, to respond these points? The overlapping of FPO agenda with watershed agenda. What are all the implications? Though you mentioned some more reflection on these points. Surya and Viju, can both of you respond to this? I hope you are all there. Hello?
They have gone, I think.
Yeah. Viju,
Okay.
Okay. Maybe.
No, okay. Ramu.
Yeah.
Okay. If they are not there, let me voice my thoughts on this FPO. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yes, we're all talking about promoting 10,000 FPOs, right?
Right. Yeah.
As the first target, and certainly FPOs can also become part of the, or they can be overlapped, or I'm sorry, they can overlaid in the watershed areas. In fact, in the watershed guidelines that we have written now, we have incorporated FPO as an integral institutional mechanism. Okay, that FPO and its associate organizations. For example, there can be a institutional for input management or output management. Okay, and it can look at, for example, running a custom hiring center. Because when you bring in FPO, primarily we are talking about meeting the input and output management. We're talking about risk management, risk negotiation. Okay, so in a rainfed area, these are more important because we would like, since the productivity and production is generally will be lesser relative to a irrigated area. Obviously, if the farmers are to make profit, okay, or the returns must be higher, so they have to ensure that the cost of production is as rational as possible. And simultaneously, they must ensure that the wastage is as least as possible. Third, their market transactions and connectivity as efficient as possible. And fourth, risk management has to be very effective. And I think the farmer producers organization can ensure that, because input management or farm mechanization, for example, or aggregating the lot and then connecting with the market.
Variety of services.
Building very simple, infrastructure. Say, for example, a small storage godown or a pack house if there are some horticulture produce, for example. So all these things, a FPO can very effectively do it. And I would say that FPOs are very, very relevant for a rainfed area, a watershed. Because entire sustainability, as you all said, will come from the ability of the people to stick together. That means to understand one another through a common interest of various activities. So FPO, the basic principle is that it is a democratically managed organization of the farmers, by the farmers, etc. The only difference here, I think, will be where a general FPO is normally of the farmers. Here, I think we can bring in non-farmers also, landless agriculture labor, for example, others who also have. Okay, so here the FPO, or call it simply as a producers organization, where farmers as well as farm related stakeholders are allowed to be members. That should be one different characteristic of this thing. Okay, I think we'll be able to bring horizontal cooperation and ensure that watershed management is planned, implemented, and owned after the exit of the project authorities.